So what other situations are there that a simple will might not be the appropriate estate plan? So when I'm talking about this, what I'm talking about is think about asset protection. A simple will is not appropriate if you want asset protection. Okay, what cases might that be? Are you in a blended family? Which means this is probably a second marriage and there's kids from prior relations. If you are in a blended family, an outright inheritance by the surviving spouse might be a bad idea. Why is that? Okay, let's say you have 2 kids, your spouse has 2 kids from prior relationships. Let's say you die first and everything goes outright to your surviving spouse and everybody gets along fine. What happens down the road? It may be that your surviving spouse remarries somebody else. And you can bet when they remarry somebody else, they likely are going to get a new estate plan. And if they do get a new estate plan, is it going to be, again, an I love you will, so that it goes to the next surviving spouse? When are your kids going to inherit? The answer is they are not. And if you wanted them to inherit, then you need a will that doesn't say everything goes outright to my spouse. If you want to ensure that your kids inherit when that spouse, the surviving spouse, remarries, how do you do that? So your will have a trust in it. And that trust can be any of these types of trusts: the asset protection trust, a bypass credit shelter trust for taxes, whatever your situation is. Your spouse will not inherit outright from you. Instead, your assets will pay to a trust that will benefit your spouse, but your spouse can't redirect those assets anywhere else. Your spouse, the surviving spouse, can't say they go to a new family or they go elsewhere. Instead, they'll benefit your spouse for the rest of that spouse's lifetime. And when the surviving spouse dies, then they go down to your kids, just like you said you wanted it to. Your will directs where the assets from that trust go. So to avoid disinheriting your children, if you want them to inherit, you do not want an I love you will. You want a will that has some sort of protective trusts in it. All right. Other situations where an I love you will. Let's say you're not married. Let's say you're single and you have 2 kids and you just want everything to go to your kids. Okay. Is an I love you will going to accomplish that without a probate? No, it's not. Let's say you want to simplify things and these kids that you have are both really good kids, standing on their own 2 feet, no creditor problems, no issues. You have no concerns about them inheriting from you. You might want to have the will that says everything goes to my 2 kids equally. But again, keep in mind that having an asset protection trust in that will for the benefit of your kids might make all the difference. So let's say you die, and at the time of your death, one of your kids is having creditor problems, or one of your kids is going through a divorce. Rather than them inheriting outright, that adult child will inherit in some sort of asset protection trust, some sort of descendants trust, something to ensure that that money will be there for them and will not go to a divorcing spouse or to creditors or elsewhere. So the I love you will is a simple will that doesn't plan for any contingencies. In doing estate planning, what we do is plan for contingencies. And these aren't crazy contingencies. Having, creditor problems, lifestyle issues, divorcing spouses. These are not uncommon scenarios. So I would like you to at least give some thought to, should your will have asset protection, at least opportunities in it, for those who will inherit from you.